describe any successful programs that address problems related to homeless persons congregated at train, bus terminals, or trains and buses. Transit police are just standing around. So this is what puts substance to the idea of the right help to the right people at the right time. If we had a map of where everyone is, because we encounter unhoused people all day, every day. They're in our libraries. They're on our buses. Our public works people see them in our parks. You call either to complain or because you're concerned. And we get those calls at our police department and our fire department. Our police officers see them. Our firefighters see them. Our outreach workers are talking with them. So we have reams of data on each of these folks. And if we had an app and we had a map, we could get to the veterans, make sure they're connected to the Veterans Administration and the benefits that they can get. To the folks who are mentally ill, make sure the teams that have street outreach workers can evaluate them and get them the right help. For the folks who are just in distress, living in their car, they're holding down jobs, their kids are still in school, they're trying to make it work. Maybe there's a church program that's nearby that we could connect them with and help them get back on their feet. For folks who are on probation because they have been released from our state prisons because they're nonviolent felons but have terms of parole, but the parole department has lost track of them because they've been on the streets for the last 6 months. We need to reconnect them to that system where they can actually get some of the help and also be held accountable for the terms of their release. For folks who are traveling through or who've fallen on hard times, they came out here thinking they were going to make it big in Hollywood and now they're not. A free ticket back to Memphis, Tennessee is sometimes a successful endeavor because that's a program that we use successfully in Santa Monica. Not just giving them a ticket and saying goodbye, but calling their family first and saying, would you take them back in? Because that's where they're going to stay if the family is willing to give them another chance. These are the kind of pinpoint solutions. Will they solve every single issue? No. But how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you reduce 300 people who are out on our street tonight? Is by 6 of them in a church safe parking, by some of them at Union Station, by more of them in other ways in which we begin to get people off the street, get them the services that they need, hold them accountable where they need to be held accountable, and get them off the street. Because on the street is bad for them. On the street is bad for the community. We need to end this. We need to treat this as an emergency. And that means we mobilize all of our resources to do that.
I just mentioned just one program to do with transit. There is a new program starting, and we have a couple contracts with it, where we are actually hiring people who are formerly homeless, who actually are going to be working on our trains and buses to connect with people who are homeless who are riding the buses and the trains, to also help the passengers so that they feel safe and comfortable, and then provide resources for those people who are on our transit systems. It's a win-win. You're providing employment. These people are being hired by Metro with good benefits, decent pay, so a good job, and also reaching out to help. So I think it's a wonderful program that we're having. I also want to call out, you mentioned libraries. Libraries are consistently voted by people experiencing homelessness as the #1 place they feel safe. Libraries are one of the few places that are open to everybody, that are free, and that are welcoming and accepting. And our public libraries here in Pasadena do an amazing job. They actually have social workers who work in the libraries to help those who are homeless. So things that our community are doing.
Yeah, I just wanted to share something that I did in a different county and to just say, go back to the by name list and the wall mapping and everything. So let's say we were able to wall map everybody and we had 300 people who were unsheltered at this moment in time. If the data includes, which in this other jurisdiction the data does include, do you have a life-threatening illness or do you have a terminal illness? At least 10, if not up to 20% of the folks will have that situation. You'll say, here's 300 people. Okay, let's just look at those who have life-threatening or a terminal illness. Boom, 30, 40 of them are on the map. You bring your healthcare providers together, unlike ever before, to be able to address that. And they will. One of the things that happened about 15 years ago is when we brought the business community together, finally into homelessness, they did what we call the cost-benefit analysis. These business people, we never really thought about it. Cost-benefit what? An analysis and think, okay, the outcome is what Rick mentioned early on, and that is that we found that in many cases, it was more costly to keep people on the streets than it was to house them. The classic example was $1 Million Murray in Reno, Nevada, who was home over 6 months, over 6 years. How much did Nevada and the city of Reno spend on $1 Million Murray? $1 million? He died 6 years later, homeless. $1 million.
You all have been extremely patient, and some of you have contributed questions, we've addressed some of them. But I know that there's some people probably dying to get something off your chest. And while this is a controversial issue and we want to treat everyone respectfully, so please, even if you're uncomfortable with what other people are saying, we're just going to take a moment to give you an opportunity to either ask a question or to express an opinion. Please be respectful again of time and others, but I want to be respectful of you. You came here, you participated, and if you have some thoughts. I'm not sure how we get the microphone.